Who remembers when they didn't have ears to hear? Nobody could tell you anything. Now, I'm talking spiritually, but of course, that's the definition of your teen years. It's also often the definition of somebody with an infatuation. But Jesus says, let him who has ears, let him hear. Well, that needs some explanation because Jesus tells a very kind of simple parable and then says, I know you don't understand me. So we need a little bit of explanation. Then the disciples came to him and said, why do you speak in parables? He answered to them, to you it's been given to know the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it's not been given. For to the one who has, more will be given. He's talking about them, and he'll have an abundance. But from the one who has not, he's talking about the people he's just been dealing with, even what he has will be taken away. This is why I speak to them in parables, because seeing they don't see, and hearing they do not hear, nor do they understand. In other words, it's kind of like this. The disciples go, we don't get it. And they come to Jesus and say, can you explain it? The Pharisees don't get it, and they live on their assumptions. They don't inquire, they don't pursue, they don't really want to hear. That's so obvious in the context. If someone casts a demon out of someone and their eyes open and they see, and then you come along and say, before we're going to believe you, you have to show us a sign. How many of you know hearing they won't hear and seeing they won't see? I say this all the time so charismatic people will know it. You can tell your stories, but the people who won't believe them just won't believe them. Not don't believe them, they won't believe them. Right? Tommy was boasting in the Lord last night. Tommy prayed for you a couple of weeks ago. Was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? 2 weeks ago? Prayed for him. I just prayed for him. Listen, I just prayed for him normally like I pray for anybody. And then he fell down under the power of God. And he got up and started talking about being healed. Now, for the record, I didn't have nothing to do with that. But God touched him. Now, people who believe it will believe it, and the ones who won't.